Okay.
All right.
Like multitaskers, because I'm the same way. Okay.
I don't have any choice. Am I looking at you?
You're looking at me the whole
Okay.
time. So, this is an introduction. I'm Tom Britt. I do a local newsletter, and it's kind of guys, Carmel, and all that kind of stuff. You're a journalism guy, so you kind of get that. So tell us first of all, why are you here tonight? What brought you to Carmel?
I'm here because my mom has been harassing me for years to do an event for the library. My mom is an avid customer of the Carmel Clay Public Library. She rents all of her movies there. Not rents. She borrows her movies there. She borrows books from there. She's a regular there, and she loves the authors lecture series that they do, which is what I thought, which is what she was thinking originally that I would do. But the timing's difficult. I work on a show on Food Network called Chopped, and we have been successful, and so the network keeps ordering larger and larger runs of the show, and so I'm just always working, which is nothing but great, but it just does make it hard to get something on the books, and we finally did.
Wonderful. Welcome back home, and you were just recently inducted in the Carmel High School Alumni Hall of Fame.
I was.
Is this your first time back since that induction into the Hall of Fame?
It is, and I would have come back to receive it because I was very excited by that, and couldn't because we were shooting that day. So on the set of Chopped, I actually shot a video and sent it to them so that at least I could thank them in one way or another.
Now, Stephanie Curtis, she writes with us, and you graduated with her, I guess, back in '83, back in the day, and some other alumni are here. I mean, what are your thoughts of Carmel High School? I mean, you certainly have fond thoughts of Carmel High School.
I tell you, well, it's a great school. It was a great school, and now I'm sure it's a greater school. I had a tour of the school today with a group of kids from the Gay Straight Alliance that I bought a table for tonight, and it was utterly unrecognizable and beautiful. A great facility. I was very pleased to see one thing that did still look familiar, and that is the basketball arena. It's exactly the same. It still looks like it's straight from the set of Hoosiers, with the wooden benches and the trusses and the ceiling. I'm amazed it hasn't been replaced, and I know it's actually a little too small for them now.
Now they're state champions and all.
4,000 students.
Yeah.
When I was there, I think it was about 2,500.
Yeah.
And it's a very success. It's a great success.
Tell us about, I guess one of my favorite shows, and actually what kind of put you on the map. I mean, you were doing some writing, you were kind of getting your name, but the Queer Eye for the Straight Guy had to be what put you on the map, right?
Yeah, without question. Yes. Absolutely.
I mean, that was like our favorite show. I know I think we recorded all of them, and we watched all. We still go back and watch some of them on demand. What was it about that show that made it so successful?
I think there were a few things. I think first of all, especially Carson and Tom were just so hilarious, and the five of us clicked really, really neatly. A lot of 500 or 600 people auditioned for that show, so the casting process was pretty intense. And I wasn't a funny one, but when you're with other people who are funny, it usually ends up.
You were the straight guy.
I was the straight guy.
And that was good.
Man. Yeah. I had people insist that I actually was straight. I don't know. I think makeover shows were still somewhat new, not entirely new at the time. It's the first show that ever had 5 openly gay people being themselves in the show, which we were proud of. I think it had moments of being profound, actually. When you have a guy who really is kind of a mess, and most of those guys were, to have 5 people, they start out the process, they probably just think, oh, I'll get a free TV, it'll be great. I think it became kind of almost overwhelming to have 5 guys genuinely trying to help you,
right,
and also to get you a free TV and a sofa,
right,
and teach you something. And the best episodes of Queer Eye were the ones where, when we started, you could see the guy was uncomfortable around us, who wouldn't be when Carson's running around with your underwear on his head, on his head. I mean, which I've seen lots of times.
Too many times that.
I love the ones where the straight guy started out uncomfortable at the beginning, and then you could clearly see as the show progressed that he realized that we were there to help.
Right.
And
And they're always hugging you at the end. It's like a big group shot. It's almost like a kumbaya moment at the end. But
we all know there has always been a tension between straight guys and gay guys in our country, and that's changing somewhat in our culture. Thank God. It'll be a long time before it's truly accepted.
Right.
And that show capitalized on that tension. And which is why when they tried to make Queer Eye for the Straight Girl, it was a really stupid idea and it failed.
But you have to take a lot of credit. I mean, you guys really did a good job with that because it made it cool, but also made it accepted. It's almost like, well, it's not what we thought. And to your point, these guys started out uncomfortable. They became comfortable, and everybody's like, well, shoot, these guys aren't any different than us.
I think the best thing about it for us was the thousands of letters and emails that we got from gay kids who told us, yeah, because the show was popular, a lot of people were watching it, and if your parents are watching the show and they like us, suddenly it made it a little easier for a bunch of gay kids to talk about themselves with their parents. And that was just, that kind of stuff blows me away.
That's great.
And I'm not saying we deserve a ton of credit for it, except that we did have the courage to be out in that show, and there were and it took some.
It was groundbreaking. I mean, it really was a big show in 2000. Was it 2003 when that started?
Yes.
Yeah. So
we made 99 of them, and I've been talking to Bravo because I really think we should make one more. I think we should do the 10th anniversary special.
Just to be 100.
Just to be 100, and air it next July, which will be our 10th anniversary.
That's a great idea. So why are you here tonight? I mean, you've got your book coming out. It's a kind of a debut coming out party for your book, right?
Yeah.
What's the Chop book?
Yeah. Actually, this is my second cookbook, and my first book tour. For my first cookbook, I also started in Carmel.
Oh, there you go.
For some reason, worked out that way, and it just seems fitting. Today's the first day of my book tour. I'm already tired, and I'm not even done with this event, so I think I'm in deep trouble. The book is called In My Kitchen. It's a collection of recipes that I've been cooking over the past couple of years. It's very diverse. It's everything from, it's got Mexican, Thai, French, spaghetti and meatballs, turkey burgers, some stuff that's ambitious, a Belgian lamb stew with lambic beer. The way I'm trying to set the book that I made is about people who love to cook. A lot of cookbooks promise you instant meals, 15-minute meals, or weight loss, or growing your hair, or making more B-roll or something in it. I thought, how about a book for people who like doing this, from somebody who loves doing this. I do this for fun. I love to cook. I do it. I get irritated if too many days go by and I'm not allowed to cook because of work. And I'm staring down a whole month of that, so I'm going to be very irritable. I like recipes that are, I like going in there and cooking a stew or something that takes a long time to develop the flavors. And this, which is not to say that the recipes are complicated. Some of them are an investment of time. Others are super simple. Mm-hmm. The point is that it's about flavor. The other thing the book tries to do is each recipe contains, it was chosen because it contains some little discovery or epiphany or adventure that I had in the kitchen that sort of changed my cooking life. So just little things like one day I had the idea to toast Israeli couscous before I put it in the water or the stock. So I toasted it in a dry pan until it was golden brown, and it tasted better.
How often do you cook a week? Do you cook that often?
Well, left to my own devices, I'd probably cook 4 nights a week.
Really?
Generally, yeah.
And who's a good audience for this book? I mean, who should buy your book?
Every single living person
with the stove
should buy 2 copies of my book and give the other copy to someone else.
Hey, well, welcome back to Carmel. Thanks for coming out here tonight and helping the library. They really appreciate you coming out. You've been a support all night, so thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. Cheers.
Thanks.
Sure.
Thanks for doing that.
Oh, sure. No problem.